When you hit 70, your body quietly hands you a new rulebook, but it forgets the instructions. We all brace for the gray hair, the wrinkles, and the morning stiffness, but what about the truly bizarre stuff? The changes happening under the hood. The doctors, in their lightning-fast 15-minute appointments, just don't have time to cover. I'll never forget my grandfather. Sharp as a tack his whole life, he suddenly started complaining that his coffee tasted like water and his favorite aftershave had lost its kick. We just thought he was getting grumpy, but it wasn't the coffee or the cologne that had changed, it was him. From your personal scent changing to your voice going through a second puberty, we're pulling back the curtain on the secrets of aging nobody talks about. Understanding these shifts is the key to mastering them. So if you're over 60 or you love someone who is, stick with me, because while aging is mandatory, suffering through it in confusion is not. Your signature scent changes. First up, one of the strangest changes of all, your body odor. And no, it has nothing to do with hygiene, it's all about chemistry. As we get older, our skin's natural antioxidant shield starts to weaken. This lets fatty acids on our skin oxidize or break down much faster, creating a specific compound called 2-nonenal. Research shows this compound, which has a sort of grassy or greasy scent, starts to ramp up after age 40 and gets more noticeable with each decade. This is the real science behind what some people call old person smell. It's a completely natural process, but here's the catch. 2-nonenal isn't water-soluble. That means it can stubbornly cling to skin and fabrics even after a good wash. I think of a woman in her early 70s who was meticulous about her hygiene but couldn't shake a musty scent in her clothes and bedding. She was terribly self-conscious until she learned it was just a common chemical change happening to everyone. So what can you do? While you can't stop it, some soaps, especially those with persimmon extract, a popular remedy in Japan, are known to help neutralize the odor. And giving your fabrics a thorough wash and airing them out can make a world of difference. The second puberty for your voice. Have you ever noticed how an older man's voice can get a little higher, while an older woman's voice might drop? You're not imagining it. It's a condition called presbyphonia, or aging voice. Your vocal cords are muscles, and just like your biceps, they can lose mass and elasticity over time. This is called atrophy. For men, this thinning of the vocal folds can cause their voice to creep up in pitch. For women, hormonal shifts after menopause can cause the vocal folds to swell a bit, often making their voice a little deeper. For both, the result is often a voice that feels weaker, breathier, or just harder to project. A retired teacher I know, David, was 75 and had been famous for his booming lecture voice. He started struggling to be heard in a simple conversation and felt like his own voice didn't match his personality anymore. The fix is surprisingly straightforward. Use it or lose it. Voice therapy and even simple vocal exercises can strengthen those muscles, improve your breath support, and help you keep a strong, confident voice for years to come. Your thirst signal goes offline. This next one is a silent but serious danger. After 70, your body's ability to even know it's thirsty takes a nosedive. Studies have shown that even when they are clinically dehydrated, older adults often don't feel thirsty at all. The thirst sensors in your brain just get less sensitive. It's like the low fuel light on your car has burned out. This problem is made worse because our kidneys also get less efficient at conserving water as we age. It's no surprise then that chronic dehydration is incredibly common in older adults, leading to everything from confusion and fatigue to serious infections. While numbers vary, some studies show it affects up to 40% of the elderly in certain settings. The game plan here is simple. You can't wait for thirst. You have to be proactive. Keep a water bottle with you all day long. Set reminders on your phone. Make it a routine, just like taking your medication. Aim for about 8 glasses a day, because you can no longer rely on your body to tell you when it's time for a refill. Your skin becomes as fragile as paper. We all expect wrinkles, but the changes to your skin after 70 go way deeper. It literally gets thinner. The epidermis, your skin's outer layer, thins out and you lose a lot of the fatty layer underneath that acts as a cushion. At the same time, your body is producing less collagen and elastin, the proteins that give skin its strength and bounce. This combination means your skin becomes incredibly fragile, a condition called dermatoporosis. With less cushioning, blood vessels break at the slightest bump, which is why bruises seem to appear out of nowhere. Skin tears can happen from something as simple as friction. The best defense is a gentle offense. Moisturize every single day to keep that skin barrier hydrated and strong. Protect your skin from the sun, which just speeds up collagen breakdown, and maybe consider wearing long sleeves when you're gardening or moving things around. It's a simple physical barrier that can save you a lot of grief. Your sleep architecture crumbles. Ever find yourself wide awake at 3 a.m. staring at the ceiling for no good reason? That's a classic sign of aging sleep. After 70, your sleep architecture, how you cycle through light and deep sleep, changes dramatically. You end up spending a lot more time in the lighter stages of sleep and way less time in the deep restorative stages. This is why the tiniest noise or a slight change in temperature can jolt you awake. On top of that, your internal body clock, or circadian rhythm, tends to shift forward. It's called a phase advance, and it's the reason so many older adults get sleepy early in the evening and then wake up before the sun. Think of someone like Arthur, 78, who goes to bed exhausted but wakes up every couple of hours. He might spend 8 hours in bed, but he's only getting 4 hours of choppy, unrefreshing sleep. To fight this, a rock-solid sleep routine is your best weapon. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day. Yes, even on weekends. Try to avoid naps if they mess with your nighttime sleep, and make sure your bedroom is a cave, totally dark, quiet, and cool. These cues help guide your brain back toward a healthier sleep pattern. The great earlobe and nose growth spurt. You've probably heard the old saying that your nose and ears never stop growing. Well, it's both a myth and a fact in a weird way. The bones themselves don't grow an inch after you hit adulthood. What really happens is that the cartilage they're made of starts to weaken over the decades. Add a lifetime of gravity to that weakened cartilage, and things start to sag and stretch. So while they aren't technically growing, your earlobes might get longer and the tip of your nose may droop, making them seem larger. This effect gets exaggerated because other parts of your face, like your cheeks, lose volume, making your nose and ears stand out even more. There's no fix for gravity, but it's one of those bizarre truths that just reminds you of the slow, steady, and sometimes strange ways our bodies change. If any of this is making you go, aha, do me a quick favor and hit that like button. It's a huge help, and it tells me I'm making content that matters to you. And if you haven't already, subscribe so you don't miss what we're digging into next. All right, on to number 7. Your internal thermostat breaks. Do you find yourself reaching for a sweater when everyone else is comfortable, or suddenly feeling hot for no reason? That's because after 70, your body's ability to regulate its own temperature gets a lot less reliable. A few things are happening here. First, that subcutaneous fat layer we talked about gets thinner, so you have less natural insulation. Second, your sweat glands become less active, making it harder to cool down. And third, the nerve signals that tell you you're too hot or too cold just aren't as sharp. This is why older folks don't shiver as effectively when they're cold or sweat properly when they're hot, putting them at a much higher risk for hypothermia and heat stroke. Layering your clothing is the absolute best strategy. It lets you adjust based on how you actually feel, not what your faulty internal thermostat is telling you. And be extra careful in extreme heat or cold. Your body just won't send out the clear warning signals it used to. Sarcopenia goes into overdrive. Everyone loses some muscle with age, but around 70, something dramatic can happen. The gradual loss, known as sarcopenia, can suddenly hit the accelerator. In fact, the rate of muscle loss can get so bad that strength declines by as much as 25 to 40% per decade, a huge jump from previous years. This isn't just about opening jars. This rapid muscle loss destroys your balance, hurts your mobility, and makes it hard to do simple things like getting out of a chair. It's a primary reason why the risk of falls and fractures skyrockets as we get older. To make matters worse, the body also becomes less efficient at using protein to build new muscle, a problem called anabolic resistance. The only proven way to fight back is with a 1-2 punch: resistance training and protein. Lifting weights, using resistance bands, or even doing bodyweight exercises tells your muscles they are still needed, and if you pair that with a protein-rich diet, your body gets the building blocks it needs to push back against sarcopenia. Digestion and swallowing slows down. The aging process affects your entire digestive system, from the first bite to the very end. The muscles in your esophagus can weaken, making swallowing feel like a more conscious effort instead of an automatic reflex. Dry mouth also becomes more common, as saliva production can decrease, making it harder to chew and get food down. Further down the line, the whole system slows down. Your stomach might produce less acid, and your metabolism isn't as zippy as it used to be, making digestion less efficient. This is the exact reason why many people over 70 suddenly find that a favorite food now gives them indigestion or heartburn. To handle this, make sure to chew your food really well to help with that first step. Eating smaller, more frequent meals can be a lot less taxing on your system than 3 huge ones. And listen to your gut. It might have very different opinions at 70 than it did at 40. The incredible shrinking effect. No, you're not imagining it. You really are getting shorter. While height loss can start earlier, it often gets much more noticeable after 70. It's common to lose an inch, maybe even 2. This is mostly because the soft, fluid-filled discs between your vertebrae start to lose water and compress. This spinal compression is the main culprit behind shrinking. At the same time, bone density can decrease, which is why osteoporosis becomes a major concern. The key here is weight-bearing exercise, like walking or light weightlifting. It helps stimulate your bones to stay dense and strengthens the core muscles that support your spine. And of course, getting enough calcium and vitamin D are non-negotiable for keeping your bones strong. Your balance system gets rewired. Ever feel a little wobbly on your feet or completely misjudge the height of a curb? That's often due to a decline in proprioception, your body's amazing internal GPS that tells it where it is in space. The nerve receptors in your muscles and joints that provide this feedback just get less sensitive as you age. When you combine that with muscle weakness from sarcopenia, you have a perfect storm for balance problems and falls. Your brain isn't getting the same crisp, fast signals about your body's position, so your ability to correct yourself during a stumble is much slower. The solution is to actively retrain your balance. Things like Tai Chi, yoga, or even simple exercises like standing on one foot can do wonders for improving proprioception and strengthening all those tiny stabilizing muscles that keep you upright. Your emotional control actually improves. After all that doom and gloom, let's end on an incredible high note. While our physical bodies are busy throwing us curveballs, our emotional well-being often gets better and better with age. Study after study finds that older adults consistently report less stress, worry, and anger in their daily lives than younger people do. They tend to have a more positive outlook, focus more on good memories, and are masters at regulating their emotions. Researchers call this the positivity effect. The thinking is that as we become more aware that our time is finite, we instinctively prioritize emotional happiness and stop sweating the small stuff. So, while your knees might ache and you need glasses to read the menu, you may also find yourself feeling more content, stable, and emotionally wise than you ever have before. So, there they are, 12 strange, unexpected, and totally normal shifts your body makes after 70. These aren't things to be afraid of, they're just the new rules of the game. From your sense of smell to your sense of balance, your body is just adapting, and knowing what's happening empowers you to take back control. You can't turn back the clock, but by understanding these changes, you can meet them head-on with smart strategies by staying hydrated, exercising your voice, training your balance, and most of all, embracing the emotional wisdom that only comes with age. Aging isn't a slow fade to black. It's a series of specific, manageable chapters. And now, you have the instruction manual. Which of these changes surprised you the most? I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. Your story is valuable to everyone here. And if you found this helpful, please subscribe and share it with someone you care about. Knowledge is the best tool we have for a long, healthy, and happy life. Thanks for watching.